8:41 in the morning. It is Veterans Day, November 11th, 2023. We're John City, Roseman, California. While they were having ceremonies across the country, including over here in Roseman, and there's an elementary school that has the mobile wall of Vietnam veterans. A rare thing for Roseman to have, but hard as hell for me to deal with. My brother had been a veteran. He's a deceased veteran now. Been that way for 5 years. If he had lived long enough and still been in somewhat good health, we would have taken a dollar ride transportation to have out here. It's like a Uber. But anyway, we would have gone over to the park to see. We would have gone over to the park to see it. I'm having a hard time dealing with this because my brother is a veteran and I should be doing it to honor him. And all I can do is just sit home and grieve like crazy. I'm watching on C-SPAN and on YouTube the Arlington National Cemetery having the Veterans Day Memorial. Well, actually, the Veterans Day ceremonies, celebrating both alive and dead. And I'm having issues with this. I'm having issues dealing with this because my brother was a veteran and I wanted to celebrate him, but the thing is, every time I keep trying to do that, I'm tearing myself apart because he's not here for me to celebrate him. And I mean, can constantly thank him for his service. He knows that. He knew that when he was alive. And sometimes he had to thank me a little bit because there's no National Day for Caregivers as much as I understood. If there was, I don't know what the hell that was, if there was any. But taking care of him wasn't just patriotic. It was my brother. He was family. He was kin. He was my brother. Even if he hadn't served, I still would have been proud to call him my brother. Living with him and what he did in the military and coming out and the things he was before it comes out screwed up and struggling like crazy, and we had to throw him out because he was just hurting us too damn badly. And he comes back 3 months later, and we had no choice but to take him in and see 32 years in my lifetime, just 32 years of his struggling with his addiction and alcohol. There have been times he was challenged by it, and he worked like hell and hoped like hell that sometimes he didn't screw up his sobriety date. Only he would be able to tell me that, but it was just one day at a time. That's all he had. And seeing him the way he is right now, it still hurts as ashes. If he was alive, he'd probably be watching this with me because he wouldn't get out as much. But if he was still able, we would have been over there this weekend. Thursday or Friday, or it was actually Thursday, they rolled into Roseman. And then Sunday they're rolling out. The hardest damn thing for me to deal with is all these veterans. I can't deal with it. But I had to deal with it for him. I think I showed a hell of a lot of disrespect for not even going over to the wall. But veteran, and I have to do everything I could to support him. I know he's dead, and I still have to support him. He's my brother. People will have speeches about what they've got, but this is hard. This is hard. Hard to deal with. I know I can never be a veteran because I'm all past it. I was a veteran's caregiver. I was my brother's caregiver. His name was David Worth Shaw. You've seen the pictures on my videos. It's always a similar camera angle. Always the cabinet. Or him on my wrists. And this picture. Always there. And while they're talking and giving platitudes and stuff, I'm still crying my eyeballs out over this. I don't know how to deal with a veteran's funeral for my own brother. He rates one, but I don't know how I'd be able to deal with a memorial. This weekend has been rough because it honors veterans. And I feel like I failed my brother in that aspect, that I didn't fail to honor him in being a veteran. I guess maybe my brother would probably not hold it against me, but I hold it against me because I honor him. I hate dealing with these things. This is tearing me apart left and right, and I can't even deal with it. My channel, my YouTube channel, is The Diary of the Griever named John Weaver. I deal with this on a constant basis. Some days it's easier than other days. It's unbelievable. Watching this, I'm trying to watch it for my brother. He matters a great deal to me. I love him a great deal with all my heart and soul. But I don't know how the hell to honor him greatly. Except try to be the best brother I could. I know what goes across my head sometimes is, what's a great while this damn thing keeps popping in my head and drives me nuts. He owes me. I owe him. What's my brother would tell me, you owe me nothing, John. Well, maybe I owe God more. It was a privilege. It was an honor. To be his brother. To be the guy who watches his six when I could. To be his baby brother. To help him through sobriety as much as I can. So he helped me with mine. Sobriety is not just being chemical free. It's never been about chemical free except for people in the AA groups. No. Turning it over, letting God do whatever he's got to do. Following the 12 steps. People in the halls mattered more about the chemical going into the body, regardless if it was narcotic or alcohol. More than that, commitment, a belief, something spiritual. It still hurts like hell of my brother not being on this earth. It hurts like hell because I can't be with him anymore on this earth. I can't take care of him while just sick. Do whatever a caregiver and brother does for him. This is not fealty. This is not absolute loyalty, even though it might be looking like it. Or it may be it. But I had a great love for him. So I'm a fool, I'm an idiot. He may not have been a 4-0 sailor all the time, but he served. He served God. He served family. I'd say he served me. You know, it may sound like that sometimes, but I served him a great deal. He was my best friend. He was the person to pull my ass out of fires. So I tried to pull him out of his. I may not have been as successful at it, but I miss him a great deal. I'm holding back the tears. I'm holding back the pain right now because I feel like I'm going to go thermonuclear right now with how I feel. And I'm not quite sure how to deal or take that. I'm still having issues. I'm really having issues, and I don't know how to deal with that. I hope Dave forgives me. I hope he forgives me. I'm not listening to some of the stuff that they keep talking because it still hurts for me just even watching this. I got it on C-SPAN right now. They're doing it live. Although they'll do a tape somehow. I always do. But I think it would be harder for me if I actually went over and then not being able to function. That's what I fear sometimes, not being able to function. I guess that's what holds me back more and more. Not being able to function. Places that he may not have been, but the things that represents him one way or another, it still kicks my ass. And I'm still having a hard time functioning. I don't blame him. There's no blame. There's only missing him. I feel like I just